Good morning, winners! Welcome to Terri's Tips. Okay, guys, today is the video you've been waiting for. How to get an 800, y'all, credit score. Go get a notebook and go get a pen. And guys, I know that there are a ton of videos out there about how to get an 800 credit score, but honestly, a lot of them are very surface, a lot of fluff. You know that I am going to give you everything that you need. We are going to go into detail and I am going to deep dive into what it really takes to get that 800 credit score. So if that's something you want, make sure you watch this video all the way through into the end, okay? And if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Terri. I'm a self-employed entrepreneur, a mother, a YouTuber, an investor. Guys, I used to actually work for TransUnion. I have over 20 years of experience in personal and business credit. Guys, I upload brand new videos every Tuesday and Thursday morning to help you leverage your personal and business credit to build wealth. So if that's something that you're looking to do, make sure you subscribe, comment below. Guys, tell me what things out of this video have you used or are you trying to help you get to that 800 credit score. I'm going to be going back and reading all of the comments and responding to you guys, okay? And guys, I'll do my nugget at the end. So first, let's talk about why would you even want an 800 credit score. Guys, an 800 credit score has tens of thousands of dollars of borrowing power. It's just the honest truth. Not only can it save you, and it will save you, thousands in down payments, thousands in interest rate money, thousands in just fees and so forth. It saves you thousands of dollars, but guys, it can help you create legacy and wealth because you're able to qualify, real estate financing. You're able to qualify for business financing. You're able to get the best, the top tier financing for everything you need, no matter what it is. And so it helps you actually leverage and obtain income producing assets at a better rate. Like sometimes these rates are so good because you have such a high score. It's almost like getting free money, guys. Okay. So an 800 credit score equals a better lifestyle, legacy, and leverage for you. Okay. Now, what goes into your credit score, guys? This is something that you actually need to understand. And we're not talking about just raising your credit score. We're talking about getting that infamous 800. So if you really want that 800, you have to knock it out the ballpark in all of the categories. Okay. So we're going to deep dive into all of them. Make sure you have your notebook and your pen, okay? So the two biggest categories, right, of the FICO scoring model are payment history and utilization. Those two categories alone, guys, account for 65% of your credit score, okay? So you need to be good in this area. You need to be excellent in this area. So payment history. You do not want to have any late payments at all, period. At all, period. Okay, no late payments at all. So what are you going to do if you have had some late payments, right? So first, you're going to wait for some time for them to possibly fall off. Or if there's something on an account that you currently have with the creditor, sometimes you can work with the creditor directly, do goodwill letters, try to negotiate with them to get late payments removed. Or you can also do disputes with the credit bureau to try and get late payments removed. Guys, I've seen a bunch of videos where they're like, do your dispute over the phone or do it online. It only takes a couple of minutes. Guys, understand that when you want the better results, it's going to take a little bit of time sometimes, but you'll get better results if you do your disputes in writing with all three credit bureaus directly. Always make sure you're including 2 forms of ID with your letters. And I actually do recommend that you send it like a US Postal, like priority. That way you get a date time stamp that the credit bureaus actually received it. So in payment history, late payments, 1000% kills your credit score. But I'm also going to throw in other negative information, right? If you have collections, if you have charge off, if you have repo, if you have bankruptcy, if you have foreclosure, you want to work to get all of those items removed from your credit report, okay? So that can, depending on where you at, guys, everybody's at a different area. Some of you guys are almost there and you just need a couple of nuggets to actually get there. Some of you guys is going to be a little bit of work. It's okay. Once you know what you need to do, then you just make a plan and work the plan, right? Make a plan, work the plan. So payment history, you want to have no negative items on your report. All right, so the next thing is utilization. So utilization is like the next biggest bucket, guys. You'll hear all these videos talk about having 30% and under. Guys, if you really want that 800, I recommend you keep your utilization, that's on revolving lines, your utilization at 1 to 5%. 1 to 5%, okay? So if you don't know what utilization is, all that is the balances on your items, on your trade lines in relation to your actual limits. So let's say you have a $10,000 credit card. If you have $6,000 on that $10,000 credit card, that is going to give you 60% utilization. Guys, that's very, very bad. 30% is a benchmark to help your score, but if you want an 800, you want your utilization to be between 1 and 5%. So for that $10,000 credit card, you want to have like $500 on there. Yes, guys, I know, but you want that high score. They want to know that you're not maxing out your items. Guys, use look more risky to lenders when you have a lot of hard inquiries, a lot of brand new accounts, and high balances on your revolving trade lines. Those are some of the things that are killing your score, even if you don't have negative information. Those things are still factoring in. Now, for utilization, always remember the dollar amount does not matter. Did you hear me? $300 on a $300 credit card is 100% utilization. That's bad. Just like $10,000 on a $10,000 credit card is 100% utilization. That's bad. One thing you guys are missing, you need to understand, is that the FICO scoring model averages your utilization. It takes all of your credit lines, all of the limits, all of the balances, and averages it. So what I want you to do, right, to get that 800 credit scores, prioritize your accounts, right? See which ones that you can pay down lower, like kind of quicker, to kind of impact your score. And also, guys, another tip is to go ahead and reach out to all of your credit card companies, anybody that you have a line of credit with, and request a credit limit increase. Guys, you can impact utilization by adding, right, to your limit. So adding credit limit increases or decreasing the balances, right? So do them both to be strategic. You may have, let's say you have 10 credit cards. Let's say 4 of them give you credit limit increases, but let's say that raises your overall utilization, like your credit limits over like $10,000 from what you originally had. That will make the amount that you have on your current credit cards, that utilization, a little bit lower. Now, they may say yes, they may say no. You may not get them on all of them, but try. If you want that 800, make a list of all your revolving trade lines, call them up, do it over the phone. Don't do it online, because a lot of times, guys, if you do it online, that will result in a hard inquiry. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about next, okay? Sorry, guys, I got real dry mouth. Okay, so as for credit limit increases, pick up the phone, say, hey, I've been a customer. I've always been paying on time. I want to know if I'm eligible for a credit limit increase. Only if it's a soft inquiry. Because if you want this 800, if it's a soft inquiry, go for it. If it's a hard inquiry, don't go for it. On average, guys, you should be asking for credit limit increases every 6 to 12 months. 6 to 12 months, and it will start getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that will help you get that 800 credit score. Got it good? All right, so the next thing is the smaller categories, guys, are average account length, your credit mix, and your new credit. Okay, so let's talk about it. So for your credit mix, this is something that I don't hear a lot of videos actually talk about. You have the best credit score when you have a mix of revolving credit and installment credit. Revolving credit and installment credit. If you have all revolving credit, so 2 examples are credit cards and lines of credit, and no installment, you're not going to have a high score. If you have all installment, and examples like auto loans or mortgages or personal loans or student loans, and no revolving, you're not going to have a high score. So guys, when you get your credit report, to recommend all of you, okay, get your credit report from annualcreditreport.com. I will go back in and add that in the description. That will give you a super detailed copy of your report. Look at the accounts. They will tell you account type if you're unfamiliar. We'll say revolving, installment, and see how many you have open in each category. Okay, that's an action item for you guys. And you want to have a mix of both. So if you have all revolving and no installment, then you may want to add something like a SelfLender credit builder account, because that's installment credit. I'll put the link in the description. If you have all installment and no revolving, then you want to do something like adding like a credit builder card. That's a revolving credit. I'll put a link in the description. I'll also link my video on how to pre-qualify for credit cards. This is where you guys can qualify as a soft inquiry first. And if you get approved, then do the formal application. But if you don't get approved, look, stop. Pause. Don't go any further. Don't waste that hard inquiry if you're already getting denied at that pre-qualification level. Guys, strategy. I'm digging into 800 credit score, but I'm giving you guys strategies. If you follow this, you can get better results faster, not waste some of these inquiries, okay? So having the credit mix is going to help you. Now, another thing for your revolving trade lines, it is false when they say you need to carry some balances that will help your score. Guys, that's false. If you have a $10,000 credit card and you use $5,000 of it and you pay it down to zero, that is fine, okay? That is good. Like when you're carrying balances on your credit card, guys, all you're doing is paying a bunch of interest, right? So you can pay your credit cards down. Now, another myth, when you pay your credit cards down to a zero balance, some of you guys close them. Pause. Don't do that. For a high credit score, for an 800 credit score, it's length, right? So one of the categories is a smaller category, but it matters when you want to have that 800 is average account length. For that 800 credit score, there's all these data points that show they want you to have like open trade lines. They want your average account length to be anywhere between 5 and 9 years plus. Did you hear me? 5 and 9 years plus. So if you have these credit cards, you put them down to a zero balance, even if you're not using them, don't close them out. It's the longevity that gives you that 800 credit score, okay? And if you're not using them, just make sure that you're kind of reaching out every now and then or making purchases maybe once every 6 months or so, just to keep it active, guys. Because another nugget is sometimes when you guys have credit cards and you're not using them at all, they will close due to inactivity. So some companies will close them after 6 months, some maybe a year. Did I say max up your credit cards? No, I didn't. Did I say make great big purchases every single month? No, I didn't. But maybe doing something small every 6 months or so to keep those trade lines open is going to help you, okay? Now, the other thing is with the utilization, with the payment history, with the average account length. Some of you guys may be brand new to building credit, or you may be rebuilding credit. So getting another nugget is to get added as an authorized user on someone else's revolving trade lines. Now, let me give you the disclaimers. I don't endorse or condone buying and selling trade lines. You hear people buying authorized accounts. I don't condone that because a lot of times you're spending money that you could actually really use to kind of establish your own credit history, pay down your own utilization, maybe settle and negotiate some negative items to get removed from your credit report. And also for those authorized trade lines that you guys buy, a lot of times they're not on your reports forever, right? So it's like 60 days, 90 days. That's not going to help you for them kind of popping on and then closing out. Popping on and closing out. So if you truly want to be effective in this area, you want to get added on somebody's card. There's maybe like a family member, a friend, a neighbor, a sibling, something else of that nature. Somebody that you trust, okay? Now, what type of trade line do you want, right? This is where usually it's going to be a credit card, right? And it's going to be something that has been opened, guys, for 2 years or more. 2 years or more, guys. I see people adding authorized trade lines and it's like, your girlfriend and she's had it for like 3 months or 6 months. That's not going to help you. You want the longevity. So you want the account to be open for more than 2 years. Okay, you want to have no late payments, right? So I've seen this also. You get added on your sister's credit card and she has 5 late payments. Guys, that did not help you. You want to have no late payments at all. And you want to have low utilization. I've seen this mistake also. You get added, on your wife's or your husband's credit card and it's maxed out and your scores drop. No, you want to be at that 9% and under utilization. So if you are getting added to someone else's credit card, that's called piggybacking, right? Family member or friend, where they're doing it to help you, not to charge you a fee where it's going to drop off and you're spending crazy money. I've seen people, guys, spend between $1,000 and $5,000 for these authorized trade lines. And remember, this is a nugget to give you a boost, but is not going to solve all your problems. That's why I say don't pay for it, okay? Because just adding 1 or 2 authorized trade lines is not going to help you get the real estate finance. It's not going to help you get that mortgage. It's not going to help you with that business credit because they want to look at your own primary trade line. Okay, so family member or friend, more than 2 years, no late payments, under like 10% utilization, then you can add it. When they add you as an authorized user, guys, then that credit card, that trade line goes onto your credit report. So how does that help you? Now you have positive payment history. Now you have more longevity. Now you may have like lower, it may average out some of your utilization, maybe add 1 to 3 max. no more than 3, guys. And to be honest with you, if you have a lower score, it's going to give you a bigger boost. But if you're at like a 700 and 720 and you add an authorized trade line, it may help you some, but it's not going to give you as much of a boost as if you were at like a 500, a 600, a 650, okay? But will it help you? Absolutely. And to be honest with you guys, it helps you the most in the very, very beginning. After it's been on there for a while, it doesn't impact your score as much. That's why I say do not pay for it. Closed mouths don't get fed. Say, I'm trying to qualify for real estate financing. I'm trying to qualify for business credit. Do you have a credit card that you're willing to add me on as an authorized user? And then get at it and then wait for it to be actually added to your actual credit report. Okay, the next thing is new credit. And sometimes we hear people say hard inquiries. I'll kind of lump them together. This is where lenders don't like to see that you have a whole bunch of brand new accounts. So if you got like, 3 new accounts in the last 2 months, your score is going to drop in the immediate. Now, disclaimer, some of you guys need to rebuild credit. Some of you guys have no credit at all. You have a thin credit file, or some of you guys have damaged credit. So you need the positive trade lines. Everybody's situation is different. That's why I'm digging deep into this for you guys. For some of you that have no payment history or you need to rebuild, then you have to add some of those accounts. So go ahead and add them because it's what you need to actually get, on your way to that 800. But for other people where you guys are really kind of high, you don't want to add a whole bunch of trade lines. You look risky to lenders. It looks like you're trying to get too much. And then they're kind of think, well, what's going on? Why did they get 3 credit cards in a car all in 1 or 2 months? Are they kind of going through financial distress? They plan on getting all this credit and then not paying it back. That's the same thing with the hard inquiries. You look higher risk to lenders when you have excessive hard inquiries. So for the hard inquiries, I don't want you to have any more than 6 in a 24-month time frame. 5 and under is better, okay? So what can you do if you have excessive hard inquiries? Number 1, stop applying for a bunch of brand new credit, right? Got it good? And that's why the credit builder accounts that I'm gonna put in the description are soft inquiries too, guys. The other thing is that you can dispute inquiries that you feel are inaccurate or unfair. I'll link my video, guys, on how to delete like negative items, how to delete late payments, and how to delete hard inquiries. So I go deeper dive into those areas on those videos, and I will link those to this actual video. But you wanna have 5 and under is like a good benchmark, or you just wait for them to fall off, right? Sometimes, it just needs a matter of time. They're only on your credit report for 2 years, guys. And this is where for your score, they don't impact your score as much after about 6 months or so. So a lot of times you guys apply for credit and you get your scores drop some, and you think it's just the inquiry. Guys, this really is the brand new account because it's impacting your average account length and your new credit and the hard inquiry. So for average account length, guys, let's say you have 1 brand new credit card. Well, let's say you have 1 credit card and you had it open for 4 years. Then your total, remember everything averages, is 4 years of credit history. Now let's say you add a brand new account. As soon as you add that brand new account, the FICO scoring model averages it. So now your average account length is 2 years, which is lower, which means you're a higher credit risk. You look like you don't have enough credit, so you need to build some time. So for some of you, it's going to be building, and paying things on time, and that's okay. Some of you guys just need to do a couple little tweaks. Work on the late payments, work on negative items, get some inquiries removed, pay your utilization down, and then you're done. You're done. Okay. And one more nugget I want to add for you guys is with the negative items, always remember for like collections, sometimes charge-offs, you can negotiate a pay for delete. What does that mean? If it is a valid negative debt, always remember there's no 100% guarantee that a valid negative debt will be removed from your credit report. That's why I always tell you guys, work on it on your own. And sometimes it can be tedious. Sometimes you need to do months and months and months, but people do have success. But don't think you're going to write 1 letter and everything negative is going to be removed. If you really want to like go at it, but you're going to have to be persistent with kind of challenging things the right way with the credit bureaus. So you can negotiate also a pay for delete. If it is a valid negative debt and you know it was valid, right? And you disputed it 7 times, it's not going anywhere. This is where you may negotiate a settlement, negotiate a pay for delete. You do a settlement on that item. The creditor agrees to delete that item. Get that in writing and you can get that trade line removed. Another nugget is remember, negative items stay on your credit report for 7 years, guys. So you can challenge the date of last activity on accounts. If you go to annualcreditreport.com, on anything that is negative, it will say, estimated time this account will be on file. Let's say something says it closed in 2016, but you're like, no, my last payment was in 2014, or I closed that account in 2014. Guys, you can challenge that. And if they can't verify that date of last activity, sometimes you guys can get inaccurate, unfair, negative items removed because it may have been valid, but you've passed your 7-year time frame for compliance. So go back to your negative items. This is what a lot of people don't talk about. Look at the date of last activity and see if there is a discrepancy there that you guys can work on. Guys, 85% of credit reports have some type of error. So you may have done some things, but there may be some things that are genuinely inaccurate and not fair, not yours. So you want to make sure you're always disputing anything that is negative, unfair, invalid, you don't recognize with the credit bureaus directly in writing. Okay? Got it good. So let's recap. The two biggest categories are payment history and utilization. No negative information, utilization at 1 to 5%. The smaller categories are average account length, credit mix, and new credit and hard inquiries I put together. So make sure you have revolving and installment credit. For average account length, you want to have between 5 and 9 years and more. You can also add authorized user for a family member or friends, and challenge hard inquiries. Try to have at least 6 and under. Got it good, guys. And for my nugget, I'm going to keep it simple. Guys, you need to have a sense of urgency with your goals. Seriously, one thing, I posted this a little bit earlier today, is that people are always saying, I'm going to do that tomorrow, do that next week, do that next year. Guys, one thing, I'm doing this video in June 2021. One thing that we all learned during COVID-19 is that you're not promised tomorrow. Guys, you only need 2 things to be successful with your goals: a sense of urgency and execution. What did I give you in this video? I gave you a roadmap, a blueprint. All of you guys have different challenges. The stuff that applies to you, execute. The stuff that doesn't apply to you, you leave it alone. You work on your report, wait for your scores to recalculate. Work on your report, wait for your scores to recalculate. But it's about making a plan and working the plan and having a sense of urgency. Do it now. When are you going to do it, Terri? Now. Guys, have a sense of urgency with your goals, with your destiny, with your purpose, with your vision, with your legacy. I promise you, the one thing that is going to get you there is starting right now and not making any excuses. Amen? All right, guys, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe so you can see more videos like this on how you can leverage your personal and business credit to build wealth and have a super amazing day on purpose.